going. We're good to go.
Finally. Hello.
And
Hello,
Veronica
bro.
saying good morning.
Welcome to a typical day in the
happen.
life of Jamie and
I
Marianne.
knew that was going to happen as soon as we started.
I love it. So good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, June 12th, 2022. And this is Sunday Morning Grace with me, Reverend Jamila Jamie, and my favorite co-partner in ministry and all things, Reverend Marianne. Good morning, Marianne.
Good morning. Joining you from the beautiful, hot, sunny patio at my house.
I love it.
And when you gave the date, June 12th, I realized today is, and don't start doing the math. I graduated high school 45 years ago today.
Woohoo! Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
That seems like such a long time ago.
Yeah, we won't talk about my journey of graduation. Did not follow a traditional path. Surprise, but I did it nonetheless.
That's all that counts, right?
That's
all right. Well, before we start talking about our topic of love in action, let's just gather our thoughts and our hearts in an opening blessing. So as you're able, close your eyes, lean back in your chair, feet on the ground, and just quiet the mind and bring your focus to your heart. To your heart that stores all of your emotions, your love, your anger, your sadness, your joy, but most importantly, your heart that holds your love, your compassion, your just the feel goods. And really focus on that and let that be the bigger part of your heart. Let it overtake the parts that feel anger, that feel rage, that feel disappointment, and just keep coming back to that big part of love. Because if we approach everything from a place of love, then we will be love and we will share love. And then the world will be a better place. But to be. As I was sharing that blessing, I was thinking about a story I had just read on Facebook while I was waiting for you to join me, Jamie. And it was on our local Swampscott Facebook page. And it was a woman that had posted about two women who were selling handmade jewelry. She had gone to a local cafe to pick up some cannoli and walking by her daughter, and she didn't say how old, but I presumed younger. The two girls or women that were selling this handmade jewelry had given the little girl, one had given her a sea glass piece of a necklace, and the other one had given her an angel necklace after talking to her. And the woman said, "You don't know her story, but you have no idea what a difference you made by sharing that with her, because it was the first birthday that this little girl had. It was her grandfather's birthday, and it was the first one that he wasn't with them. And that same morning, they had gotten a phone call that one of their relatives, a 54-year-old in Italy, had passed away. And so this little girl was consumed with this sadness. And I almost got the sense that maybe the little girl had something health-wise as well. And the mother said she put the angel necklace on right away, and she hasn't stopped talking about it. And today she plans to wear the sea glass necklace. And I'm sharing that because that's what we're talking about, love in action. It's those small little things that we do that seem so small. And I'm sure it was probably, I'm reading a lot into this, but I feel like it was probably the end of the day. It was probably, they, were feeling like they had finished with the bulk of their sales. And their hearts just said, give this to this person. And yet for them, it was probably small and insignificant. But to the girl who received them and to her mother, and then to the extended family who may hear the story, it's got that ripple effect of just a feel-good story. And I feel like that's at the heart of what we're talking about, this love in action. It's just doing something. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And none of us want to be treated, like second-class citizens. We all want to be treated with love, respect, kindness, compassion, understanding. And so I know I kind of jumped right into our topic, but
no, it's perfect, because that's exactly what I got for today. I was thinking like love in action, and I thought, well, that's just simply us being, right? Just being. And I actually had I had this conversation Friday with one of my coworkers. We were just talking about, like, when everyone asks, what's my purpose? How we hit, or I don't want to say how we don't like when we get asked, what's my life purpose, when we're doing readings and coaching and things. But I always tend to disappoint people when I say your purpose is simply to be, right? That's your purpose. You're fulfilling your purpose when you be. And in that fulfilling your purpose, you're being the love. And then I came across the story right after that was about this man. For years, he passed his neighbor, and it was an older gentleman. They never spoke, they never nothing. They just simply waved at each other every single day. And for whatever reason, this one day he went to a coffee shop, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to get this older guy a cup of coffee too. So he took him the cup of coffee, and the man's daughter came out and she said, you don't understand. My dad has autism. And the highlight of his day is each and every day when you wave to him on your way to work and on your way home from work. And here, simply that wave. And I say that to people, I'm like, you don't understand. Your life purpose could simply be to wave at somebody and show them that, like, there's hope in humanity, or they're having a bad day, that somebody cares. Or even in this case, like, you literally make this man's life every single day simply by being love and kind and compassion. And just a simple wave can change so many lives, a simple smile. And it doesn't require anything, just to simply be. Even
true.
when when you be the love on the days that you feel anything but love, but you're showing up honest, you're showing up real, you're showing up yourself. It's still an act of love, because you're giving other people permission to say, hey, it's okay. Granted, we don't like to intentionally be malicious or anything like that, but if you're just having a bad day, or we feel like, everybody else seems so happy and I'm kind of meh, so maybe I won't go, or maybe I won't really talk as much today, or maybe I'm just going to be a little more quiet. But yet when you show up and you're yourself, I find those moments to be the most love-filled moments as well, because it's like, it's just that being and saying, like, hey, it's okay. It's okay if you're not having a good day. It's okay if your energy is not where you want it to be. That's been my personal dance. I want to feel more vitality, and I'm taking steps, so I am feeling more vitality. But, some days it's like, I don't necessarily always want to show up, because, it's like, I should show up this big bubbly, energy that everyone knows me for. But there is a part of me that also needs to honor and respect, like, I need to rest as well. And loving myself and being the love for myself in those moments, also showing people that, like, love in action sometimes is nothing.
Love in action in that situation, as you're saying it, I'm thinking, and I'm hearing that love in action in that situation is when you're showing up and you're not your 100%, by showing up and either reaching out for help or allowing others to see that you need it. That's also love, because you're allowing them to then give to you. You're allowing them to use their talents and their gifts. So you're not always the one that's in the giving role. You are then turn it around to be in the receiver role, which is a gift. And that's how you're showing love, by saying, I'm allowing you, I'm needing you to love on me today.
I love that so much.
It's kind of sometimes just being a willing recipient of somebody else's talents and gifts, when they are freely giving them, is such a gift. And that is your contribution to love.
Yeah. And if you think about it too, I mean, I know you kind of know in your own experience, I know it in mine and others in their ways. Like when we're going through the shiz, I'll keep it clean. It's Sunday morning grace. But when we're going through the shiz, sometimes having the gift to be able to kind of focus on someone else and loving someone else, that diversion from, again, said shiz, like it's really what is so needed, just
Mhm.
to kind of break the monotony, to break the focus, break the concentration. Not that it doesn't warrant attention, but sometimes we also need that pause. So I just love, and I think we had mentioned that a couple of months ago, the gift of allowing people to give to you, because we know how good it feels to give, we know how good it feels to support. So to honor somebody else with that gift, to be able to show up for us when we need it, to cover for us when we need it.
And sometimes they don't even realize.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beauty in it. That is the
Mm-hmm.
beauty of just allowing them to do what feels right for them in that moment.
Yeah.
It how beautiful to hear from somebody a day later, you said this to me and it really made a difference, when we don't even realize that we are
Yeah.
acting in that loving way
Yeah.
or being that authentic way person.
Mm-hmm.
It, to me, that just screams love in action.
Yeah. And it's
When
really,
we, no, I was
yeah.
gonna say, when we do it without purpose.
Yeah. The other day, I finally had a quieter week at work. Those of you who know me in my personal life know my work can be very intense. I love it. It's just, we're very busy, which is beautiful because we're in service. But this week's been a little quieter. And I actually had a moment, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, to like check in on my people. And so I just checked in. Hey, how are you? How you feeling? How you making out in the energy? Because it's been a little intense again. And even that, like just being able to like be the love and go, you know what, I have a moment here, like let me check in, because I'm in a space that I can do that. And like, oh my gosh, everyone was so grateful. And they, unfortunately, but it's part of just where they are, so still fortune, and what we may seem unfortunate, I say that because they were all struggling,
Mm-hmm.
and just that text alone to let them know that, like, hey, I'm thinking about you, I care, I want to know, how are you good, can I be of any support, what do you need? And just the text alone was enough, like it did so much. And just to know that, hey, like somebody loves you and somebody cares. So again, those little things, that text took 10 seconds, and it was sincere. It wasn't like, well, let me do this. It was like genuinely sincere. And I think when even we, allow ourselves that, like that moment to pause, that moment to check in with ourselves, get heart centered, and then reach out, from that heart centered space, that being of love. And it's like it's
Mm-hmm.
felt so much more different and deeper. I'm blessed that I have people that understand that I'm just in a phase of my life where it's a lot of work, it's a lot of training, it's a lot, a lot of meeting certification requirements and things like that. But yet the same said people always take time to check on me as well, or just be like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, even they lovingly will be like, hey, workaholic. And then I'm like, oh, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it too much again. But so even the little things like that, like, just that one little text, checking on me, being love, also helps guide me back to center, like, oh, thank you for that. Thank you for being the love. And now I'm also like, okay. But, and that was the one other thing. It's in topic, but off topic with what we were saying. But, this morning we were talking, Marianne was talking about Bronk, her dog was out and we didn't know if he would bark or not. And I just looked over and my dog was looking at me in disappointment, as he always does when I'm at the computer. But in love, like that's just how he looks at me. But I thought, wow, like this dog literally just bees, and he loves me, and and the love that I get to be or feel because he's being loved in action, simply by just laying there looking at me, bringing me a giggle, bringing me, they're like, oh my gosh, if you stop licking, stop scratching, stop whatever, but just I mean, I just think about it, right? We always tease that God is dog spelled backwards. But I thought, when we just have those our special little fur babies, and it doesn't have to be a dog. Don't come for me, cat people. It can be any animal, but just seeing how like they're just so in the moment and so devoted to our love and our happiness. And to do that, they too, in that moment, and which takes me back to the opening blessing, being in the moment, the love and action that we can be when we be in the moment, when we don't think about the past, when we don't think about the future, when we don't try to figure out in that moment as well what's wrong, what doesn't feel right, what doesn't. And I'm not saying don't check in, because there are times that yes, we do need to check in and take inventory. But when we also just pause for a moment and stop looking for what's wrong, stop looking for even what's right, stop looking for what we want, stop looking for what we need to do next, when we just allow ourselves to just be present in the moment, in the gift of the moment, the love of the moment, that also allows us that opportunity to truly be love in action, because we're here, we're present, and we're in the heart.
So true. And I have to just add that
I was going to say, they cut me dead right there. Please add.
When you were talking about the dog, mine got up from his watchtower perch where he watches everybody walking. And you can hear, I don't live that far from the airport. You can hear the plane going overhead. But Gronk got up from where he was sitting and came over, and he never does this, and sat right next to my chair. And as soon as I reached down, he put his head right in the right spot, so that I'm now scratching his head, and it's like just soaking this all into. So he's being a very good boy. Thank you, bud.
Love it. I love it.
And I just want to, are you feeling complete?
I'm very complete.
All right.
I was going to say, yeah, you got your goodie to share.
I want to close us with last night when I was watching TV with my daughter. We were binging NCIS New Orleans, and the story had been about a 40-year-old murder, and the medical examiner, it was a case that she had worked on, and it was like very near and dear to her heart. And they solve it, of course, because that's what they do. But at the very end, they were all getting together for, I think it was a Thanksgiving dinner. And they asked her how she was, and she says, "I'm great." And then she says, and it's the final line of the whole scene, and it says, "Love done right can change the world." And when I heard it, it was like, I have to write this down. This is so perfect.
How perfect.
And if nothing else comes of today, and I feel like our whole conversation has been about that topic, love done right can change the world.
I love that.
And with that, I feel complete.
No better way to end it other than to allow you all to bask in our beautiful tenets.
So we're ready to move on to tenets?
We are.
Let me pull them up on the screen.
This time flew by the way. Time flew by this morning.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's see if I can. Here we go. I've got us up.
Perfect.
And we invite you to join us or just to read along or to close your eyes, however it feels right for you. And Jamie, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so as Marianne was saying, just getting comfortable and allowing yourself to be in the space and a place that feels right for you to really listen and hear and allow these tenets to fill your heart, fill your being, fill your cells, fill your soul. I open my heart with deep gratitude and intend today to master my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical energies. I am dedicated to my spiritual practice. I surrender to my soul's purpose through sacred prayer. I own my guidance.
I live in partnership with my angels. I serve with a loving heart. I am compassionate in every moment.
I trust it's all good. I allow immediate forgiveness. I honor my truth.
I listen to the spiritual messages within my physical body. I express myself creatively. I love all beings with an open heart and an open mind. I am one with Mother Earth, and so it is.
And so it is, and so it shall be. And as we go forward, this beautiful Sunday, this beautiful gift and start of a new week, of a new day, of a new now, of a new moment, may we step forward and walk in love and walk in life. May we see through the divine's eyes. May we speak the words of love. May our hearts be our guide, and may our feet leave a legacy of love and love in action everywhere we go. Blessed be.
Beautiful. And since I'm upstairs and outside, I don't have my tenet stones, but as we were reading through the tenets, one jumped out at me as one that I should focus on this week. And so I invite all of you to join me. And it fits perfectly with today's topic. I serve with a loving heart. So how can you serve with a loving heart? Have a great week, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. So your button's working, Marianne.